Good morning, good people. We're going to let a few people get on here. Just wanted to point up to the, for the replay, I wanted to point up to the pinned comment on the live feed. I'm going to put it on the pinned comment for the replay in the comments, but also in the description box. We do have our coaching specialist going on for Valentine's Day. It's for a 3-month block of coaching for individuals at a radically discounted price. We also have a link to get a 30-minute consultation. The 30-minute consultation also gives you access to our pre-recorded yoga, HIIT style training, stuff like that. Access to the app gives you access to the hunger management support group, and you can sign up for all the live classes and things like that nature. So, how is everybody doing today? I hope everybody's doing good. We're going to go over a few topics today. I'm going to get myself ready while we have people joining. If YouTube is going to let people join today, we'll see about that. Who fucking knows? It's Monday morning. It's 7 a.m. and sometimes people sleep in. Who the fuck knows? Who fucking knows? Let's see here. We are going to talk today about how obesity is killing the planet, how it is absolutely 100% hurting the way the planet operates. Let me see here. There we go. We're just going to do this. We're going to move this over here. Oh, there we go. And start saying hello, everybody, so I know people are here. But there's that, and then, there we go. All right. Because we're going to go over a bunch of stuff. Yogi Berra, I am live. How are you doing? Janet, what's going on? Casey, how are you? Emily, how are you? N8344, what's going on? Corey, Sammy. I'm getting some people rolling in here. So tomorrow will probably be live. Hang on, I can actually tell you when I'm going to be live tomorrow. While we're here, that way people don't miss out. Today's an interesting day. I'm going to talk to clients when I'm done here. Tomorrow we are going to be live at 1 p.m. About 1 to 2:30 we're going to be live, and I don't even know what we're talking about yet, but we'll talk about something fucking interesting. I can guarantee that shit. All right. Back to this. Morning. Amanda Meisner, how are you? Chris, what's going on? Sammy. All right. So here's what we got going on, people. Biggest waistline means bigger carbon footprint, obesity, and climate change linked. These are real fucking things. Like, that's the problem. Like, and by the way, excuse the shirt. I fucking just got done working out a little bit. So I know I look like a mess, but I was rolling around on the fucking ground. Trying to stretch. I was getting some yoga in here a little bit ago. So, and the cat's laying on the ground, so I got cat hair all over me, and I got fucking stuff all over me. So you're going to have to deal with that. If that's I get comments like that before, like, oh my God, there's cat hair on your shirt. Like, people, if that's a complaint you fucking have in life, I feel for you. So, everybody, how's the sound, by the way? I hope our sound is going good. But I'm going to pull up some articles that discuss some shit about, about the environment and obesity and the dangers of it. So, hello, Benjamin, Tracy from the UK. Just finished that morning workout. Raja, excellent. Chris Willis, what's going on? Everybody, people seem to be getting their Monday started fucking good, and that's a good fucking thing. I feel very rested, and it's weird. Oftentimes, I don't feel very rested on Monday mornings. I don't know what it is, but Crystal got us to bed early last night, and feeling excellent. Excellent. So here we go. Boom. That's actually not going to work. Okay, so what we got going on? No. That's better. Okay. Big waistlines mean bigger carbon footprint, obesity, and climate change linked. A study shows that countries with higher average BMIs produce 20% more greenhouse gases than slim ones. So that's us. A smaller waistline isn't just for our health, it's also good for the planet. According to a recent study of the International Journal of Epidemiology, researchers found that lean population will consume almost 20% less food and produce fewer greenhouse gases than a population in which 40% of the people are obese, similar to the US. So fat people account for 20% more carbon emissions. The difference can be attributed to several factors. Many slimmer nations consume less meat. That's one. The study found that it takes less energy to transport slimmer people, meaning the actual people in their cars use more gas. They come up with more carbon than anything else. The researchers estimate that a lean population of 1 billion people would emit 1.0 GT, that's million tons, less carbon dioxide equivalents per year compared with a fat one. The Guardian Leo Hicksman notes, as if being obese didn't already carry enough social stigma, now it seems you're not just killing yourself by being overweight, but you're killing the planet too. It's just the fucking truth, though. It's not a stigma. Why must we do this? That's what I understand. We bend over backwards. I mean, to make it so as if the stigma wasn't enough. There's no fucking stigma. Being fat is bad for you. Being fat is bad for the fucking society. Being fat is bad for the environment. There is no fucking stigma. There's absolutely no stigma when it comes to that. That's fact. It's reality. The stigma portion of it is what's fucking us up. I mean, it's totally ridiculous to refer to it as stigma. It's not a stigma that obese people cannot run far because they can't run far. It's not a stigma that obese people have a harder time, tying their shoes because they do. It's not a stigma that they eat more because they do. It's not stigma. It's reality. We have to get past that. For me, the most interesting aspect of the study is that it shows how the obesity debate is now starting to be analogous to how the smoking debate played out. We shouldn't be debating. That's the thing. And this is 2009. This is 2009, and we're still debating this. Think about this. This was known in 2009, and now we're still arguing these fucking things. That's the fucking sad thing. Fucking horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Okay, so here's another one. This is an actual study. Stop fucking putting that thing on there. Reducing the carbon footprint of hospital-based care. Climate change, driven to man-made greenhouse gas emissions, is a major threat to the health of this and future generations. Hospital-based health care generates large quantities of greenhouse gas emissions. Reducing the carbon footprint of health care requires direct action to reduce waste and energy use, but also requires radical reform of care pathways so that the only patients who come to or stay at the hospital are people whose health care cannot safely be delivered closer to home. Achieving these reforms will without major structural changes, and this is from when? This is 2015. Procurement, travel, building energy. So if we would reduce all this by 20%. All of this by 20%. That's fucking crazy. Here's another one. Studies suggest obesity is associated with greater greenhouse gas emissions. This is 2019. 2019. A new analysis suggests that the increased average body size of people on Earth, in addition to the growing world population, may further challenge attempts to reduce man-made carbon dioxide emissions, according to the paper published online in Obesity, the flagship journal of the Obesity Society. Now, that's the fucking thing. This has been looked at. This has been studied. And yet, you still, so I'm just going to point out, we know that this is an issue for the pandemic. Then it just hasn't been spoken about at all. They have not been hey, maybe we should lose some fucking weight. Not Fauci, almost no politician. I've heard Marjorie Taylor Greene talk about it, and I think I've heard Rand Paul talk about it. And that's been it. Besides that, most politicians on a national stage, on a federal stage, do not talk about maybe we shouldn't be fat as fuck for this pandemic. It's insanity to me. The healthcare industry is even ignoring it. That's because the healthcare industry is not about health. The healthcare industry is about treating sick people because they want you sick, so therefore they make money. If we didn't have obesity, we would not be worried about any of this shit. People wonder why this is my life's work. This is my passion. This is what Crystal and I do. People wonder why. Because in reality, it would save millions of fucking lives if people would just listen. If people would try to branch away from going to pharma and go towards more natural methods. Because pharma hurts a lot of people. Like we literally have a prescription drug addiction problem. How the fuck does that even happen? That in of itself is malpractice on a massive scale. Like a massive, massive scale. It is malpractice on a massive scale. It's insanity. So we've known this about the pandemic and health, but we also now, for all these people that like, for all of you out there that are really still pulling the liberal side of because we need green, the climate change and blah blah blah. If they have not talked about unfattening the country, they are not serious about climate change. 20%. We could reduce emissions by 20 fucking percent by getting people healthy without changing any fucking thing else. 20 fucking percent. And instead, we're going to try to fucking give gifts to fucking lithium battery companies and all sorts of shit like that. 20 fucking percent. I mean, that's a huge fucking number that nobody's even talking about. All oxygen-dependent organisms on the planet produce carbon dioxide as a result of the metabolic process necessary to sustain life. That metabolic process, that's the reason why that there's like people say that I just can't lose weight, and that means you're full of shit. Total carbon dioxide production for any species is linked to the average metabolic rate, the average body size, and the total number of individuals in the species. People with obesity have a greater carbon dioxide carbon dioxide production from oxidative metabolism than I just glitched there for a second. Than individuals with normal weight. Also, maintenance of greater body weight requires more food and drink to be produced and transported to the consumers. Similarly, transportation of heavier people is associated with increased consumption of fossil fuels. This results in additional carbon dioxide emissions related to food production and transportation processes. Globally, obesity is estimated to contribute to an extra 700 megatons of carbon dioxide emissions per year, or about 1.6% of all man-made emissions. That's fucking crazy. The authors emphasize that it's critically important that this new information does not lead to more weight stigmatization. There's no stigma. People with obesity already suffer from negative attitudes and discrimination, and numerous studies have documented several prevalent stereotypes. The fucking reality that we actually think that way. Like, this is just stated how being obese is killing the fucking planet, but we got to watch their feelings. Fuck all you people. I mean, this got to be a more recent article. 2019, I called it. This is in the woke era where we're super, like, okay, so we've been ringing the alarm as loud as humanly possible, fucking taking steps to change the entire fucking world based off of, what kind of car you're going to drive in the future and like how you can be powered and everything like that. We've taken jobs away because fossil fuel is so fucking bad that we've taken fucking jobs away, but yet we're not going to talk about people's weight because it might hurt their fifis. Fuck that. Fuck all of that. That's fucking ridiculous rhetoric. That is ridiculous rhetoric to try to fucking win people over. That's bullshit. If you feel bad when people call you fat, that's because you know that it's not healthy for you to be fat. Not everybody's going to fucking like you. Grow the fuck up. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Unreal. Just fucking patheticness. Patheticness on parade. All right, this is from also 2019. Rising obesity rates worldwide may contribute to climate crisis. Our analysis suggests that in addition to beneficial effects of morbidity, mortality, and healthcare costs, managing obesity can favorably affect the environment as well. So the study, it would help in healthcare and save people's lives and all sorts of shit, and it would help in fucking help in climate change. But no, we're just gonna we got to watch everybody's feelings first. You fucking losers. No shit. I mean, with no shit, like other oxygen-dependent creatures coming out. So this is probably just a reprint of the same article. It looks like. Overall, being obese is associated with about 20% more. That's fucking crazy. Crazy, crazy. Overall, being obese is associated with 20% more greenhouse gas emissions, carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide than being of a normal weight, according to a study published on December 20th in the journal Obesity. That's fucking 20%. 20%. This is an important implication for those involved in the management of obesity. The researchers stressed that these findings should not lead to more stigmatization of obese people, blah, 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 blah. Why shouldn't it? I mean, I really I would love to have that question answered. Why should it not? Why should people, through their own action, eat themselves to the point where they are, in fact, putting out more carbon emissions, using more resources, straining the healthcare system? Why should we not point this out? It's not a stigma. It's truth. Like, there's not stigmatization in these facts. If you feel bad from these facts being listed, that's because you know they're true. If you know that you are negatively affecting not only your body, not only the healthcare system of the people, but also the planet, and you feel bad for it, you likely fucking should. I mean, how is this a fucking issue? Like, I don't understand. I really don't. We don't give the link. I don't get it. How it's even obesity journal. One second. Oops, that's not wrong. But I just don't fucking get it. I mean, I really fucking don't. So let me see here. We're not done. The carbon footprint of obesity, chronic disease, and the growth population is no accident, and this is from 2010. So I wonder if this is going to be as wokey. It's no accident that the obesity epidemic coincides with signs of climate change. Both phenomena stem from fundamental and unsustainable imbalance in use of food and other energy by humans that is linked to modern agribusiness and transportation systems and the growing number of people using them. A recent review estimated that the population with an abnormally high mean body mass index, BMI, and 40% obesity requires 19% more food energy for maintenance than one of a normal BMI and 3.5% obesity. The marginal greenhouse gas emissions from food production and car travel associated with higher levels of human adiposity is between 0.4 and 1 gigatons of carbon dioxide, equivalent per year per billion up to 2.5% of total emissions from 2002. So this is when people even started talking about this shit. Why, have you noticed how this is 2010? This is 12 years ago. And people weren't talking about this. It was studied. We know this. It's very fucking commonsensical. And now people don't even talk about it. I find that kind of telling. This year we reached a point where more than half the world's population lives in cities, which is fucking a problem too. Population growth and absolute growth in the overweight and obese population is occurring most rapidly in developed countries with rapid urbanization and uptake of energy-dense diets. At the same time, millions have been lifted from poverty. The life expectancy has increased because of better nutrition, as well as access to vaccination and other effective primary healthcare services. And that's when the definition of vaccination was still to include immunity. Population of developing countries have historically contributed less to global warming, yet they will likely bear the greatest economic and health burden from it. They will be the most vulnerable. Globally, at least 200 million women want to, but do not have access to modern contraceptives, and blah, blah, blah. They're talking about population growth. Food production, urban design, health equity. Okay. So we're not going to keep going with that. Boom. Another study. This is from 2021. Global warming and the rising prevalence of obesity are well-described challenges in current mankind. Most recently, the COVID-19 pandemic arose as a new challenge. We here attempt to delineate the relationship with each other for perspective. Global greenhouse gas emissions from the burning of fossil fuels have exponentially increased since 1950. The main contributors to such greenhouse gas emissions are manufacturing, construction, transportation, residential, commercial, agricultural, and land use change in forestry, combined with an increased global population growth from 1 billion in 1800 to 7.8 billion in 2020, along with rising obesity rates in the 1980s. The current COVID-19 pandemic has caused some decline in greenhouse gas emissions by limiting mobility globally via repetitive lockdowns, but that also is extremely bad for population health. Anyway, proven. Following multiple lockdowns, there was a further increase in obesity in wealthier populations, malnourishment from hunger in poor populations, and death and severe infection of the pandemic virus and its virus variants. There is a bi-directional relationship between adiposity and global warming. With rising atmospheric air temperatures, people typically will have less adaptive thermogenesis and become less physically active. I love working on the heat. Well, they are producing higher carbon footprints. So they're producing higher carbon footprints. You know? This is just all common sense shit. And this is another one. Fat people have, this is from 2008. Oh, sorry about that. You can toss your empty soda cans in the recycle bin instead of the garbage, saving energy and refill and reduce landfill. Or you can wear hemp clothes and drive a hybrid car plastered with bumper stickers requesting the salvation of everything that owls the dust mites. There are lots of ways to go green, but if you really wanted to help save the planet, you would start by dropping a few pounds. It is no secret that obesity has plenty of personal health consequences. The list of diseases have been associated with being overweight include high risk of high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, stroke, and less sex, only to name a few. But being fat also has consequences for our planet, often in ways we don't check out. There's an old joke about a mother telling her son to finish the food on his plate because there are starving children in Africa. The smart Alex response, "You got a stamp." I never said that to my mother. That would have resulted in a wooden spoon. I've never fucking said that. This scenario did not happen in an Italian American household. Ever. 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 Wow. What's not a joke is that there's a finite amount of food in the world and it is growing scarce. Recent food rights in Haiti, Sudan, Yemen, Mexico, Egypt, and other countries are a stark reminder that many people do not have enough to eat, yet alone here we're fat as fuck. The cost of staple foods such as corn, rice, and wheat are at a record high across the globe. Some can't afford to feed their families. Maybe we should switch to hemp. Just a thought process. Meanwhile, in the United States, obesity is an all-time high. 2/3 of adults in the land of plenty are overweight or obese. That's way higher than that now. I bet you it's close to 80%. Obesity is perhaps, because these are old numbers, by the way, obesity is perhaps the ultimate symbol of resource consumption. It's visible proof that overweight people already has more than they need and take more anyway. Boom. The causes of food shortage are variety and complex, but if Americans simply ate less food, there would be more food for the rest of the world. By some estimates, the average American consumes about 4,000 calories a day. 4,000 fucking calories a day. Most of you motherfuckers should be sub 2,000. Most people that sit at a fucking desk all goddamn day long should be under 2,000. I take in like 2,500 calories, and I work out every day. You know, and when I try to lean out, I was taking about 22, and that's with like an hour and a half of fucking workouts. What the fuck? I mean, if you're just getting 30 minutes of fucking activity a day, you should be you should be at 2,000 calories or under. If you get very, very little activity in a day, very fucking little activity in a fucking day, you very fucking much should realize the fact that you should be eating, like if you eat 2,000 calories and get very little activity in a day, you're going to weigh about 180 to 200 pounds. So what it's going to work out to. That's fucking crazy talk. 4,000 fucking calories. Holy shit. Overweight people create more air pollution than thin people do. It is simple physics. Extra pounds translate to extra fuel in automobiles and airplanes. Extra fuel means increased energy usage, oil, drilling, and air pollution. A 2004 study at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention found that for every 10 pounds gained by the average American, airlines burn 350 million more gallons of fuel to carry the additional weight. The fuel spews an estimated 3.8 million extra tons of carbon dioxide into the air. As for the smaller hybrid car, it's a good start, but there's not much point in buying fuel-efficient vehicles if you're going to fill that large seat with an extra large butt. You might as well throw a few sandbags in the trunk. Fuel efficiency drops dramatically with more weight. The engine has to pull. The lighter you are, the less gas you burn, the more money you save, the less pollution you emit. Of course, going green is by going lean is easier said than done. The only part of the problem, but by getting ourselves healthier, we also help save the planet. I love this, except for the fucking picture. It's ridiculous. So basically, being a fat fuck means you're killing the planet. That's insane right there. That's fucking crazy talk. I mean, it's what I don't understand. We can do some questions now. Here's the thing that I think people need to realize that strikes me as being very, very off-putting. We know this. As you've just seen, we've known this for decades now, for over a decade. We know that being obese is bad for people, bad for healthcare, bad for society, and bad for the fucking planet. We know it. We know that it is all these things. And yet, they're a protected class of people. And you even saw in some of the more recent articles how we can't, like, I'm sorry, but like, what is the downside of weight stigma again? Like, as people even define it. Like, so people, like, because I don't see the stigma. I don't understand where where we actually have untrue shit. Like, stigma is some sort of untrue thing, right? Now, of course, it doesn't mean that people that are obese are lazy or anything like that. I work with obese people every single day, and again, you can get that at our coaching, which is right here. We have a coaching special for all the lives and everything like that. I like to put it up every 20 or 30 minutes. And we have a 30-minute consultation, which I would love to you'll get people on. 30-minute consultation gives you a month free to the app. Not a month free, it's including consultation. 30-minute consultation with me to discuss goals and everything like that, maybe possible next steps. Should you need coaching? Should you not need coaching? It's a way to feel it out. But very realistically, it also gives you access to live and pre-recorded yoga, HIIT style training, walking, all that stuff, like just to get yourself started, keep yourself accountable. And you can be put in the hunger management support group. Sorry, I have cat hair everywhere from working out. Everywhere. Awesome. It's shedding like fucking crazy. It's going to be a hot summer. Yeah. But you can also just go ahead and straight sign up. If you know you need to get a hold of your habits, we talk to people on a daily basis, weekly video conference calls. We talk about different food habits, behaviors. We help change a person's lifestyle. We take a look at the lifestyle they're leading, and we make adjustments bit by bit so it's sustainable. So the changes they can get used to, and then they can move forward. So you should check that out. Very, very seriously. But there is what's stigma? The stigma that they can't walk into a grocery store. I mean, I don't see the stigma. I don't. I'm wondering where it is at. I don't see any weight stigma. I just don't. I simply don't. Celebrating obesity is real. I see it all the time. If you are a thin people, resent any advice you may take, not realizing that I have been aware that they are. I think I'm following you, dude. I don't know. So, give me 1 second. I want to check something. Sorry, check something out. But anyway, obesity puts a burden on healthcare system, the environment, and society, and they dare to say that we're fat phobic. That's my thing. Like, where's the stigma? Like, tell me, like, it's facts. Like, we have to stop living in this fairy tale world. Like, for the last 5 or 6 years, the fairy tale world is what set us up for all this bullshit. But we have got to stop living in this fairy tale world. We have got to stop living in this realm of reality that is not actually connected to actual physics and science and shit like that. I mean, we have got to stop. It is destroying the country and the planet. We have got to stop it. Like, Listening to people to talk about like Earth Day and like do your best and fucking recycle as they fucking jam like, like when drive-through lines are full, think about how much extra consumption just from drive-through, just from eating individually packaged burgers. An individually packaged burger instead of getting a plate, having that shit wrapped up. Like think about that shit. Think about how crazy that is. You know, there should be a class all parents take to learn how the importance of nutrition and diet. There should be. There absolutely should be. There should be public service announcements about all this shit. There should like the government. People need to wake the fuck up. The government doesn't want you fucking healthy. Okay, at no point in time. Once the government stopped working for the people, the government's best interest is to stay in power. They don't want you. They don't want you empowered. They don't want the people empowered to take care of their own health. They don't want the people. They want the people fat, sickly, and on drugs. I mean, it's like to not discuss this, to not discuss obesity when it is systemic. It is a systemic problem. It is not just healthcare. It is not just, it is healthcare. It is transportation. It is procurement and production. It is greenhouse emissions. When it is all these things, for it not to be the topic is in fucking amazing. Like, I mean, like people need to fucking get there. Wake the fuck up. Understand that this is fucking craziness. Like I'm like, the more I think about it when I sit down, it is, there's meetings where like, well, we shouldn't talk about that. Like, I mean, I hate to fucking like put it out there to everybody, but I've been right this whole fucking time for years now. Obesity and us denying the fact that it's unhealthy for us is crushing the fucking planet right now. It is obesity is the reason why we fucking locked down. I mean, anybody can fucking try to argue against me on that. But if we didn't have such a highly sick population, it wouldn't have even been a thought. I mean, I didn't know too many healthy people like after the first like couple weeks where they looked at it, they're like, I'm not fucking afraid of this shit. Like, I mean, it's fucking crazy talk. Let's see. Industry doesn't want you to be healthier. Absolutely. Pharma industry especially. I posted this morning on Twitter, which if you're not following me on Twitter, I don't know fucking why you are, because they let me say whatever the fuck I want. Apparently, Twitter's the only people that let me say whatever the fuck I want. Kind of crazy. But I said on there earlier that we need a different alternative, like a more natural, like we need a different alternative to the pharmaceutical industry. We need to take a look at all the existing plants and extracts from different natural sources and their effects. And I've got to be real. That's where Mark and I are looking like leaning towards with our with the future of our company after we launch the first appetite suppressant. I want to come up with alternatives to like healthier, minimal side effects, like foods based on cannabis for a lot of stuff, absolutely, a lot of stuff, but not everything. And when you get to the point where how much they're engineering cannabis for this portion of it, that portion, like the Delta 8 and the THCV and stuff like that, I worry about that shit. I do. And no shit. I mean, I think that the only way that cannabis should be used, is I think that people should be allowed to grow their own. I mean, that's another thing too. Like if you're looking at greenhouse gas emissions, because we're talking about shit that hurts the planet. I did a little rant last week on one of the lives, in case you guys didn't catch it, where I talk about my way. My Green New Deal would involve the production of hemp as the super crop of America, basically, where we would subsidize that instead of sugar, and we would then in turn use it for as much shit as we possibly could, because it can be used for so many fucking things. It's fucking crazy, including food. But I think that people should grow food, not lawns. Like what? Like we're sold on this fucking crazy ass industry that everybody needs to have a beautiful looking lawn. Why would you not grow some fucking food? Grow some perennials. Everybody could grow their own fucking sweet potatoes. Everybody could grow their own fucking starches. Just about. Root vegetables are not fucking hard to grow, and normally are perennial, meaning they come back. They take almost no care from you. I have no idea why we don't grow our own fucking food. on our on our land, on our properties. I have no idea, and I mean no idea why we don't collect all of our own rainwater. I mean, for uses of lawn and stuff like that. Collect your own fucking rainwater. What the fuck? Like, how is this a fucking issue? I don't understand. You know, um, it's why you locked down and why the rest of the world locked down when we saw all the deaths from over there. Exactly. You go to the store and they individually wrap certain produce. I've even seen peeled oranges put in plastic containers. It's fucking crazy talk. What, you can't even peel a fucking orange? I mean, homeopathic medicine is underrated. It absolutely is underrated. Homeopathic medicine and Ayurvedic medicine is the basis for pretty much the entire supplement industry too. So, big pharma wants people on health. I agree. Cannabis is not without risks. I agree with that too. Uh, Healthy diet eliminates the need for most medications. I'm sure that these people collude and imagine that fast food industry and pharma probably under the same umbrella. Absolutely. A fucking 100% absolute. Nootropics are amazing for health benefits, little to no side effects. I take nootropic every single day to help, and it helps with my ADHD, with focus, all sorts of shit. So I take Mental Jewels from Ambrosia. You should absolutely fucking check it out. It's fucking amazing, amazing. Sup, Alan? If you read what I wrote at 6:20 a.m., you'll see how I got my dad's off diabetes meds. Can you re-put it? So I grow my own veggies and collect. I grow my own veggies and collect my rainwater. Then I give them a prepper. Everybody should be a little bit of a prepper. Everybody should be. I mean, everybody that has lawn should be a bit of a prepper. You should you should grow some of your own fucking food. Everybody should. It should be like, we should have it almost be as a responsibility, because then like, if we are serious about actually wanting to save the planet, like, that's my problem. We keep bringing up these issues keep coming up. Like, we keep naming these huge boogeyman type events, these huge things. Oh my God, it's climate change, and we need to stop climate change. Here's how everybody needs to change their life. That all of a sudden somehow magically benefits this other industry that magically the fucking people that are telling you to change your own life have fucking invested interest in. Like, people telling me that fucking these fucking senators and shit like that aren't going to own stock. Like Gavin Newsom's not somehow going to financially benefit from all cars in California going to be electric within the next fucking X amount of years. Are we fucking serious? Because I'm not buying that shit. I mean, I'm absolutely not buying that at all, whatsoever. We're not mentioning how fat people are and how that's on adds to greenhouse emission. We're not talking about how lithium mining is horrible for the fucking environment and these cars are going to run off lithium batteries. We're not talking about that shit. We're not talking about how with people growing their own food, it would reduce the amount of that needed to travel from big places anyway. How buying local, also buying from local farms and local butchers and local places like that stops people from having to get food carted in. We're not talking about that shit. At one point in time this past year, they were making it going to farmers markets seem like it was an alt-right thing. I was like, what the fuck? I used to be called a tree hugger for going to fucking farmers markets all the time and buying straight from the farmer. I used to like, oh, you're such a tree hugger. Now it's like now the left is calling that to be alt-right. That's rhetoric. Like buy, eat, and shop local. What the fuck? I mean, it puts your money into your local economy instead of your money up to very rich people. Buy from your local farmer. Buy from your local butcher. Buy from them. Most of the time it's less expensive, but even if it's a little bit more expensive, we are showing that most people eat more than what they fucking need anyway. It's fucking crazy. I would love to grow my own food. I want chickens and all that so I can be self-sustainable. So many people are moving towards it. I know we are. Rainwater collection is regulated. It absolutely shouldn't be. It's fucking insanity that it is. You can't collect the fucking water that falls out of the sky on your fucking property. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? That is absolutely fucking crazy. I would be fine for going solar as well and gardening. That's a fact. That's crazy talk. There should be we should invest in American solar companies. If we are gonna do anything instead of lithium batteries, invest in American solar companies and slap a fucking solar panel or two on the roof of every fucking building in America. Especially if you're in Florida or South Carolina or someplace that actually stays sunny a decent portion of the fucking year. Every fucking home should have them on them. Every fucking home. I mean, it would reduce the need for fossil fuels so fucking much. We don't do that, though. Instead, we're going to fucking try to make sure that everybody has to buy a new fucking car. I mean, that's insanity. I planted some herbs and learning how to grow vegetables in your truck. That's amazing. That's amazing. Some areas regulate lawns also. Like that's for appearance sake. That's so that like people can say, well, it looks pretty. Fuck. People caught up in their fucking feelings about appearances and shit like that. Because let me tell you something. That's what the whole weight stigma bullshit is. Like people don't want to feel like they're ugly because they fat. Nobody said you're ugly, and if they did, they're an asshole. I'm not saying that. I am saying that people can fully well say if you don't find being obese. If you don't find being obese attractive, there's nothing fucking wrong with you. That's their fucking right too. Not everybody's going to want to fuck you. I mean, people need to fucking grow the fuck up. But that's what it's all about. It's about protecting people's fifis so they can keep them weak. I'm sorry, it's time to toughen the fuck up. Suck it the fuck up. Sit food, baby. It's for real. It's time to. There's a whole Twitter. Pelosi is fucking amazing. Pelosi's got some fucking seriously good financial advisors, if you get me. You see the magazine cover with the obese woman saying this is future fitness? Yeah, I already did something about that. We talked about that last week. It's a way to keep people weak and sickly. It's time to stop. You know, it's really here's you know what weight stigma actually is? Not being able to tell people that being obese is bad for them. They're somehow stigmatized. That's what weight stigma actually is. Weight stigma is actually when somebody gives somebody the truth about their fucking size, that the person that tells them that is seen as somehow mean or evil. That's weight stigma. That's what weight stigma is turned into. Because there is no stigma that being obese means that you are taking in too many calories for how much energy you're burning. That is literally 100% fact. To stay in good health, you are consuming more calories versus your activity to stay in good health. That is the truth of obesity. 100%. The fact that many of these people have trouble, with regulating their food ingestion is a real fucking thing. We coach people every fucking day with it. We coach them to healthier life. That's reality. That's not stigma. Like people get too caught up in like, well, you think I'm ugly. Whether I think somebody is ugly or attractive, I don't understand why the fuck people care. I really fucking don't. I don't get that. But just to be real, who gives a fuck? You're hurting yourself. You're hurting society. You're straining the healthcare system. These are all facts. That's not stigma. It's time for this weight stigma bullshit to be sat the fuck down. Obesity is killing the fucking planet. It's killing people. It's killing the fucking healthcare system. It's killing our fucking country. And it is being used as unspoken leverage to help to control people, to control the masses, to control the population. People need to fucking get past that shit very fucking quickly. Big agree, eat local? Absolutely. Teslas are giant microwave. Jamie Oliver, Gordon Ramsay, and all the chefs have always for buying local and eliminated the loss of farmers markets. Exactly. It's fucking. I mean, buying from a farmers market is the fucking tits. It is. I don't know who said it, but said that was alt-right, but they lied. It was on Twitter. Like I was like, what the fuck? Like it's because they they wanted to paint the rural person as racist and alt-right and all sorts of shit. That's a solid point you're making here. Thank you very much. I try to make all solid points. Control the food, control the people. Exactly. Since I lost 60 pounds and went from obese to athletic and sub 50% body fat, everyone is friendlier to me at work and in public. Fucking hero. 60 pounds lost. Fucking hero. The Dove Love commercials, I know. Amy Jones, exactly. I love seeing overweight people working out and doing it for health rather than having abs. But it's so weird for them to advocate working out via staying obese. It's so fucking crazy. But that's the thing. Like, why would you not fucking? Why would you not? Uh-oh. Here we go. As long as they do the jiggly dance on TikTok, then it's okay. That's fucking truth. Back in the 70s and 80s, almost everyone was at a healthy size. It's not hard to figure out what happened. No shit. I mean, that's the thing. And we're not actually in reality. Like this whole bullshit, like, well, we got to watch Weight Stigma. No, we fucking don't. We really fucking don't. We need to watch what, like, Weight Stigma is not what people think it is. And we really fucking need to watch how this is fucking going. We cannot keep getting fatter. I can tell you that. We cannot keep consuming. And we should not entertain these arguments. Like, that's one of the big things I posted about the whole pandemic thing. Until I hear a public health official sit down and very seriously look, or the president, or the press secretary, or Fauci, or somebody sit down and look straight to the camera and say to the American public, the biggest thing we can do right now is try to be as healthy as humanly possible as a person. Get consistent activity that is to your physical level. If all you can do is go for a little bit of a walk every single day, start with that. We need people to start eating as minimal ultra-processed foods as humanly possible. Ultra-processed foods are inflammatory, and we need to watch the amount of inflammation we have in our bodies, because that type of inflammation, it can be taken advantage of from not just this pandemic, but almost every single upper respiratory pathogen. It is just reality. It is absolute reality. Most people that die from and with this die from what's called a cytokine storm. It is literally an inflammation storm in their lungs. We need to absolutely reduce our body size. We need to stop the pandemic of obesity, because that is the true enemy when it comes to this. Without obesity and lifestyle-driven illnesses, for the most part, this would be a pandemic of just the elderly that we could then help protect them better. But as we have so many people that have hurt themselves via their lifestyle choices, it is hurting all of society. Until I see Fauci or the president, and back when the Orange Man was in office, the Orange Man, that anything, until I see that, I'm not taking that shit seriously, because that's reality. Like that's how I knew it was all fucking bullshit. Because I got to be real, they didn't try to help anybody. They didn't try to save anybody's life. They didn't tell people that were at high risk they were actually at high risk. They tried to make it seem like everybody was at high risk. They tried to paint it that children were at just a higher risk as everybody else. That is a flat out lie. That is a flat out lie. So why I didn't take it seriously? Because I saw the data myself. And I said, as long as I'm healthy, I took it seriously. I lost 40 fucking pounds. I downsized muscle mass. I changed my entire eating habit. You know, we developed the hunger management method, that's what we coach. We help people. It's a method. It's not some sort of cookie cutter diet. It's a method that is morphed to each person individually. And then we teach you the skills to further morph it as you get older and your lifestyle changes. That's what it is. It's a method in what we do. Until I see that happen in today's society, in modern society, until I see, if they're talking about climate change, they should be talking about weight loss. They should be talking about unfattening the country, because 20% greater emissions for a population that is 80% obese, or 80% overweight, and probably likely over 50% obese, 20% per person. That is an extra, 260 million people? 240 to 260 million people producing 20% more carbon emissions than what they fucking should, or what they would if they were healthy. Think about that for a fucking second. If we wanted to cut emissions by like 10% or more within the next we could do it in 2 fucking years. We could do it in 2 fucking years if we got the fucking country fucking healthy. 2 fucking years. I mean, a 2-year journey to go from a morbidly obese state to a healthy weight via activity and consumption is very fucking reasonable. We've had that's why if we would have announced back in 2020, like, hey, get as healthy as you fucking can, we could have if instead of pushing facial decorations, which we knew didn't work and now they admit don't work, instead of putting all that energy into that, all that energy, all that money into purchasing of them, all that fucking and cleaning up after them and the legal battles that have been fought over them and all that shit. If we would have focused all that energy and all that money into helping people get healthy, we would be in a completely different society right now. Not only just health wise, healthcare system wise, mental health, we would literally also be saving the fucking planet. It is the biggest misstep for our fucking species in our fucking history. It is absolutely the biggest misstep in our fucking history. It's disgusting. I mean, and people can say what they want about me. I've been trying to get people healthy for fucking years. And this is just this is logical process. That's all it is. Like, see fat bad. You know? Sorry if that hurts your feelings, but it is bad for you if you're fat. It is bad for society if you're fat. It's bad for the healthcare system. It is bad for your family. If you consume a ton of food and you are morbidly obese and getting bigger and you have children, they are fucking watching. They're watching every single time you mouth fuck yourself with that pleasurable food and you make that fucking moaning noise because you know that food's not good for you, but you like it anyway. They're watching. They're absolutely fucking watching. They're getting their habits from you. We need to have influencers try to be as healthy as fucking possible. We cannot fucking keep doing this. It is killing society. It is killing the fucking planet. We cannot both. We have so many people on this planet. If everybody emulated America and 80% of them were overweight or obese and produced 20% more greenhouse emissions, think about that shit. You know, think about that shit. Getting off all processed foods and sugar is one of the hardest addictions I've ever had. It is incredibly intense. We are actually, Mark and I, Mark, myself, Crystal, and Sean are going to actually focus on trying to find a way, some sort of supplement with ingredients. And there's a bunch of good ones that help take the edge off of shit like that. You know, because that's the fucking thing. People have a hard time with that. We're going to try to take the edge off of it. So, I mean, and we have a few things that we're looking at that are in production. I mean, it's just one of the things. Give me 1 second. I got to look it up. We're even coming up with stuff for headaches, everything like that, migraines, you name it, fucking crazy shit. I watched Hard Day's Night Beatles movie on Saturday, and no one was fat. I wonder if music had anything to do with it. People used to dance more. No one gets out anymore. That's the thing. They're not active at all. Kashina Amy, very grim, quite scary already, but no telling what will happen. I'm sorry, I missed half the conversation. I have to go get more fruit and meat. I mean, I'm sorry, everybody should. Like, go to your local farmer's market. Fucking shop there. I don't, like, the whole we can't stigmatize people. The only weight stigma I see is how people are looked at when they say weight is bad for you. Like, it's gotten to be such fucking rhetoric and such, like, it has gotten to be such this anti-culture that you can't be realistic with people. Obesity damages every fucking thing. Every fucking thing. Whole Foods will save you. Whole Foods will save you. Whole Foods will save your life. Whole Foods and intelligent, quality vitamin and micronutrient supplementation, along with natural compounds to help treat different ailments, will save the fucking world. Will save the fucking planet. They will. Instead of all this artificial, like, think about this shit. Like, and we're probably going to do some shit for blood sugar regulation here soon. But my cat's crazy. There are compounds right now that rival medications, that rival pharmaceutical versions of medications that aren't used, aren't even barely spoken about, because what the fuck, that would cost money for the pharmaceutical industry, but yet as shown with the we did Wegovy this past week, I believe. The side effect profile on it is fucking massive, and a huge, massive cost versus natural fucking pathways. Like, it's fucking crazy. It's crazy. Gates is buying all the farmland. You won't be eating much anymore. I live in southern Illinois, and everyone's selling their farms. He just wants us to eat bugs. Got to be real. The survivalist in me wouldn't. Bugs are a fucking way forward to feed a lot of people because they're protein. It's fucking crazy. But I wonder how society is going to fucking launch back at this. I really do. I truly wonder how it's going to. But that is definitely an issue. No shit. What about those who can't afford to buy fresh groceries? Oh my God. Do you have any tips for those? Can't ignore the classic 2-minute noodle diet. Yeah, buy beans and rice. Everybody can afford beans and rice. Everybody. Every single person can afford beans and rice. Beans, rice, and some frozen greens. You're good to go. Absolutely. The new head of the FDA is a former Pfizer exec. Of course. Endorsed by both parties. Of course. The FDA needs to be disbanded. The FDA is a political entity that is the FDA and CDC are the government arms of the pharmaceutical industry. People need to fucking grasp that. I mean, that is the reality. The FDA approving these things for EAU, the one statement of we're never going to know it's safe unless we do it, should fucking tell you they don't give a fuck. It's not about protecting citizens anymore. I've seen some dizzy. I have seen someone feeling dizzy and said they need to drink some soda. They need to drink some soda to feel better. That's fucking scary. Even as a kinesiology student, it is still challenging to address the nutritional side of things, but I constantly urge my family not to even buy the unhealthy foods. Don't bring them in the house. It's very good. Beans and rice is so underrated. I lived in Madagascar for 6 weeks, and that was lunch every day, but spiced and pickled salads made it amazing. Exactly. It can be fucking amazing. It really can. Bugs are already in supermarkets. Crickets, larvae are going to take several generations to normalize eating that stuff. My thing is I'm not even necessarily against that, but just like people shouldn't be against that because it's an actual viable fucking protein source and shit like that can be farmed, just the same thing as everything. People should not be against growing their own food. People should not be like, that's the thing. Like, it can't be like, well, we have this alternative and this is the alternative we're going to use. No, let's fucking use all of it. Let's do all of it. If instead of worrying about the agriculture industry, let's worry about the fat people. I mean, if anybody can, like, us addressing the obesity epidemic would have the largest systemic positive effect on society and the planet, period, of anything else. Absolutely anything else. It would. People would get healthier, need less pharma, there'd be less pressure on the healthcare system. People would then have better emotional health and mental health. And it would be better for the planet by reducing carbon emissions. We would need less oil, fossil fuel. The prices of everything would go down due to the decrease in demand for all of these things. It would help society and the world if we addressed obesity. If we didn't just propagate and tell people you're great the way you are, even though you're over consuming many more calories that is possibly good for your physical health and the environment and the planet, it would help everybody. But that is not going to be as profitable for many, many, many large industries that give a fuck about profit. That's the fucking long and short of it. That's the only fucking thing about it. I mean, I don't understand how people can't see this. It's fucking insanity. As a libertarian, I don't see what the red people's problem is with bugs. Highest protein I can think of is it a bad protein profile? From what I understand, it's fine. I mean, that's the thing. I think we should use everything. Like I think everything should be on the table. This man has blown my mind. I can't believe I didn't think of beans and rice. I may have missed it, but any update on you growing your own? I believe it's sativa, or we're gonna do that. Like we're not even starting that. We're not even starting that, but we will. Like we're moving here this year at some point in time. We're gonna get a little bit of land, so absolutely. I have no problem with bugs, but they're going to be all we have to eat if this bill goes through. It won't go through, I don't think. And if it does, it'll be fucking quickly fucking switched. Because I mean, it does not address the fucking the actual problem. It does not. It just does not address it. I mean, I'm actually going to write up, I think, my Green New Bill and put it out there, or probably on a blog or something like that. But it's just fucking. We need to enter reality in many, many, many ways. Like many ways. We need to realize that the biggest thing we could do is affect the weight of people, for real. Remember when President Bush had the Presidential Council of Physical Fitness and Sports in 1990? That was quickly quelched. And anyway, just walking every day will make the world thinner. It absolutely would. People complain that a healthy lifestyle is expensive and so unhealthy, especially with the long-term medical repercussions. It's fucking ridiculous. It really is. It's insane. I don't understand how that is. You know, nothing but the truth. The truth true. People seem to forget how great a simple walk can be. Absolutely. And again, folks, here's the coaching link. I'm taking a look at the time. Here's the coaching link and 30-minute consultation. I do highly suggest you fucking pick us up on that. Let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm going to take questions. Where that NoMorbidity at, though? It's coming, dude. Like I said, what was it? Friday. A couple weeks. You know, maybe anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. It's coming. Calm down. I can't make it go any faster. It's production. You know, I cannot make it go any faster. But it will be. I do suggest it's going to be low enough that I do suggest people buy a 2-month supply right off the fucking bat. I really do. Just buy it right off the fucking bat. It said that so many people out there actually believe that the FDA, CDC actually care about the people. They're the government of big pharma. Buying quality food is money well spent. I completely agree. When will your products be available, and do you plan on going to stores to promote? They will be available. I don't know how soon they'll be in the stores. We'll probably end up in Vitamin Shop and GNC, but that's after a little while. That is after a little while. But we will be going around. We're going to do probably a launch event, and then we're going to do a bunch of other. Crystal and I are going to be traveling around, fucking promoting it as much as possible. Takeout is so freaking expensive and usually just tastes awful. Exactly. Getting away from eating more because you are exercising would slow the overeating problem. Excessive. I walk 5 miles a day, even in the winter. I use it for my mental health. Good for you. Very, very good for you. Very good for you. So I just wanted to we're gonna wrap it up here in a couple minutes because I am gonna get some work done. I'll definitely look out. Thanks, man. I promise. Trust me on this. When we are ready to launch, everybody will know. I'll be making videos. I'm so fucking proud of it. I'm so happy that we're going to help somebody. I think it's going to help. I think it has the potential to help millions and millions of people. I really do. It has the potential to help millions and millions of people, especially when coupled with the stuff we're going to put with it afterwards. I think it is. I'm a big I do talk about this a lot. But I'm going to make sure I do something about it too. That's my big thing. Instead of just talking about it, I want to do something about it. So I want us to set ourselves up to help save society and the world and our species, because we are reaching an unsustainable level of stupidity and ill health. And I am sorry that if my words make people feel any kind of fucking way, I'm sorry you're that fucking weak. I'm not sorry for saying it. I'm sorry you're that fucking weak. Because we need to get past this. I'm not going to say something because it might hurt somebody's feelings shit. When you spare words to try to save somebody's feelings, when those very words could be the catalyst to help them get healthy, you are hurting that person. You are absolutely hurting that person. If somebody is so weak that me saying you are fat and should lose weight for your health and the good of society, the good of your friends and family, for those that are influenced by you, like your children, and for the planet, if that hurts your feelings, that's a you problem that you are making into everybody else's problem. Your problems you're making into everybody else's problem should be addressed. We should be able to address people by stating that. If for some reason people think we should not be able to say, you're fat, lose weight, because it might hurt that person's feelings, that person is in fact hurting society by being obese. They are straining the healthcare system. They are affecting people that are influenced by them, like their families, their friends, their children. They are using 20% more. They are creating 20% more carbon emissions by being obese. It is a them problem that they are making into our problem. We should be able to say this to people in a civilized society and have the person not fucking cower into a ball claiming we are shaming them or we're putting stigma on them. There is no stigma. Being obese does, in fact, use more resources. Being obese does, in fact, shorten lifespans. Being obese does, in fact, lead to a higher susceptibility of viruses and bacteria. Being obese does, in fact, hurt the person. Being obese does, in fact, and the acts that keep the person obese, does, in fact, influence others to do the same thing. Awesome sauce is crazy. This is not stigma. This is not in any fucking way, like, this is not a lie. This is truth. Do you have any religious views that tie into your views on health? I'm an atheist. I have no problem with anybody else having religious views. That's one of the things I love about America is that we have freedom to have or have not religion. So, yeah, it's annoying when people make fun of you for being obsessed with your health. They'd probably be. I mean, what if you're going to be obsessed with something like your own physical well-being? What the fuck, you know? I used to be a member of the Haze until I started getting skin fungus under my breasts. I lost 80 pounds, and now I have to save for skin removal surgery. Why doesn't health insurance pay for skin removal? Some health insurance does, Cassandra, and good job on losing 80 fucking pounds. You're a fucking hero, by the way. Is that Dunkin' Donuts coffee? No, I don't go to Dunkin' anymore. I really don't. It's one. It's not a fucking. I really feel it's not a good message to people for me to go to Dunkin' anymore, even though I just got the coffee. But two, they were enforcing masks and they were forcing their employees to get the jab. So I fucking don't. I don't. So, skin removal surgery, if it can be proven to be a medical necessity, like a lot of people that have a lot of loose skin and they have like an apron that causes them to have an altered gait, they can get insurance to pay for it. I have no idea why it doesn't. They'll probably consider it cosmetic, especially since you had fungus and fungal infections. I would be wondering why they didn't do that. Why they wouldn't do it. So. Do any states have fat kid child abuse? They should. It should be seen. It should be seen that way. And yeah, Cassandra, all the best on the surgery. All the best on it, for real. Let's see. But we're going to wrap it up on that. It's been a little over an hour. Tomorrow, I'm not sure what the topic is going to be, but it will be about. We're going to be about at 1 p.m. Eastern time. We will be having a lovely discussion that I'm sure is going to again upset many fucking people. I don't understand why people get so upset. They tune in just to get upset by me stating very serious realities. But I think we might continue this conversation a little bit, and I might pull up the bullshit of weight stigma. I think that would be a good idea. Maybe that's what it's on. I got to think, and who knows, something crazy might happen that I want to talk about, and we'll just talk about it ad nauseum. So I hope everybody has a great fucking day. And thank you for tuning in. Again, last little push here. Make sure everybody has it. There's our coaching special, and that is the 30-minute one-time consultation. It comes with a month of the app. That's where you can sign up for live and pre-recorded yoga classes for the app. You'll be in the hunger management group, and it comes with a 30-minute consultation. We can talk about pretty much anything you need. So, with me and Mark, we'll be live again soon. We just been very busy, and the Gainscast is still on penalty from YouTube. It's still on penalty from YouTube, so we'll be live very soon. Anyway, all right, motherfuckers. I hope you have a great goddamn day, and please get healthy. Goddamn.